Welcome back, guys. Another day of the shop build. I have decided not to go with buying 2x6 wall purlins. I am going to mill out 1x8, 1x10. I'm going to try and keep it at least 8 inches tall, but hopefully not more than 10 inches tall. I think more than 10 inches tall, I'm just kind of wasting wood. But 1x8 to 1x10 for wall purlins on this build. I don't think it's going to matter too much. It is a 12-foot span, so it might sag a little bit. I might put like a diagonal brace on the inside of them. I'm also, I originally was going to put 2x6 as wall purlins every 2 foot. I'm going to put 1x's every probably foot and a half, depending on how thick they turn out to be. So they'll be closer together, there'll be more of them. And like I said, if I think it's going to sag in the middle, if I think the boards are going to start sagging in the middle with the weight, then I'll put a diagonal every once in a while to keep it really solid. I did have to move all my 1x6s that I had milled out right here, and the 1x8s that I had started milling out over here. They're all banded together, stacked on one place right there. I took the worst ones out of the 2 stacks and put it on top, not banded in, for the 1x8s. That way the sun's not baking on the top of the boards. They're still stickered, so the air will still flow through, but the bands are going to keep them nice and solid, hopefully keep them from warping. And the 1x6s, I kept a whole layer out for the top, and I banded that together so that that whole top layer, those were pretty warped. The bands, of course, brought them made them look a little less warped. But that's going to keep the sun off the top of the good stuff. And then, of course, there were 3 really warped boards, crazy warped, and those are just sitting on top because those don't matter. But I got those out of my way so I can put all my wall purlins here. They've got to be at least 12 foot long. I've got quite a few logs up there ready to go, and I've got, I think, 3 more really big logs out by that prowler trailer out there that I can bring in. So let's get on this mill and see how much we can get milled out. Yeah, is it time to go in? I think it's time to go in. So that's 13 layers. I'm estimating I'm gonna need 15 to 16 layers at 9 pieces per layer. And there's a couple layers in there that have, I think, 7 pieces in them because they're super wide. They're the pieces that I was milling off to try and square up some of these bigger logs and make the cant 8.5 inches wide, or close to 8.5 inches wide. So I should probably get about 17 layers before I stop. I should be able to do that tomorrow without a problem. It's only 4 more layers, but it's been a day, so I'm gonna head inside and I'll get back on this in the morning. We've got them all stickered up and stacked. A little bit of weight added to the top, along with those extra boards are a little bit extra weight, and they keep the sun off the very top layer. And I started off thinking I was going to mill out, what was it, 13 or 14 layers? And it's ended up at 18 layers. 18 layers of at least, I think the narrowest one is 8.5 inches wide, and they're all at least 12.5 foot long. The stack itself is 7 foot wide, 18 stacks tall, and by my calculations, it's somewhere around 1,700 to 1,800 board feet of lumber. Not too bad for a couple days work. I could have probably got it done in 2 days, but I had a couple things I had to get done in and around working on the sawmill. So, not too bad. We'll get those 6x6s in a couple days, and we'll get them tilted up, start putting these purlins on, hopefully get the roof put on it pretty quick, get that thing sealed in. Until next time, guys, go make something.